From calling out a creep who crossed the line,
You're like the fifth person that's asking that to me.
because
to walking out of a conversation,
Bye.
here are 7 actors who put rude interviewers in their place, starting with the least savage. On May 4th, 2012, Avengers actress Scarlett Johansson would sit down with extra reporter Jerry Penacoli, who kicked things off with a disgusting question.
Now, were you able to wear undergarments? If
You're
you will?
like the fifth person that's asking
Well, no,
that to me.
because
What is going on?
Instead of answering, the Black Widow would show her zero tolerance for disrespect.
Since when did people start asking each other about in interviews about their underwear?
Jerry knew he crossed the line, but he would still defend himself, insisting he was purely curious about skin-tight costumes. And while Scarlett finally responded, it was something sharp and unexpected.
Here's
I'll
why.
leave it up to your imagination.
Oh, see?
Okay?
Is that...
Whatever you feel like I should be wearing or not wearing under that costume.
The sarcasm didn't stop Jerry, who was determined to squeeze out a direct answer by rephrasing the same question.
What do you wear underneath something like
Overalls.
that? Do you wear clothes?
You wear dungarees. You can't wear clothes under it. It's like a wetsuit.
Okay.
Practically.
All right. So you answered my question.
Even after giving Jerry what he wanted, Scarlett would continue to shut him down.
You asked Joss what kind of underwear he wears?
No. What
What kind of interview is this?
This would finally make the reporter switch to the right questions. But despite this, fans sided with the Avengers actress, praising her for standing up for herself. She's right. Since when is it considered okay to ask a woman if she wears underwear? Inappropriate question, and nothing to do with the promotion of the movie, which is the only reason for the interview. But while Scarlett was patient in handling the sexist reporter, the next actor almost lost it on live television. On September 12, 2023, Matthew McConaughey would guest on The View to promote his new children's book. Just minutes in, Sunny Hostin would steer the discussion towards politics.
Well, I want to applaud you for being so outspoken against violence, and gun violence in particular. And you're a Texan, and you spoke so passionately at the White House last year in the wake of that shooting at Robb Elementary in your hometown.
That's when Joy Behar seized the chance to put the actor in a tight spot.
You think you could get elected in Texas being anti-gun?
But Matthew refused to fall into this trap and fired back with a stern response.
One thing about if me in politics is to give you a direct statement right there is be playing a game that I'm not interested in playing.
Okay.
The heated exchange immediately changed the vibe of the studio so much that Whoopi Goldberg had to do some damage control.
Is Matthew's gonna stick around? Because we got a big surprise for him coming up next.
Oh.
After the show ended, the tense encounter was all over the headlines, with fans supporting Matthew's way of handling the interviewer. Loved his tone and answer here. He is a highly intelligent man, and I personally think he's on the right track with his views and facts on all of this. It was nice to see him stand his ground with her. How is she still on the show? But while Matthew only went as far as silencing Joy, the next one would make a news anchor feel humiliated on air. On February 12, 2014, Samuel L. Jackson would appear on KTLA to discuss his latest film, RoboCop. Everything was going well, until news anchor Sam Rubin dropped a seemingly racist question that almost destroyed his career.
Did you get a lot of reaction to that Super Bowl commercial?
This would make Samuel feel confused and annoyed at the same time.
What Super Bowl commercial?
Following a few seconds of awkward silence, Rubin finally realized what he did and quickly apologized. However, the RoboCop actor wasn't going to let it slide.
See what? See, you're as crazy as the people on Twitter. Right. I'm not Lawrence Fishburne.
Even as Rubin apologized again, Samuel kept cutting him off, drilling in that he should be ashamed of the massive mistake.
You're the entertainment reporter? I know. You're the entertainment reporter for this station? Vlog.
Though the interview would soon get back on track and end in laughter, Rubin would defend himself with a full apology later on. But while Rubin got off easy, the next one wasn't so lucky. In 2011, Jonah Hill would go on for an interview about an animated series he created, only to disappointingly receive a question about his weight loss.
He wants to know what made you make the change.
Despite feeling discomfort, Jonah would maintain professionalism and calmly answer.
I just decided one day I wanted to be healthier, and I went and saw a nutritionist, and that's what I did.
But just when the superbad actor thought the questions about his appearance were over, another reporter jumped in and made things worse.
But are you still considered the fat guy when you go to a party or anything? Because I run into that a whole lot. I'm the fat one. So are you the fat guy in Hollywood still? Or is everybody like look at you and they're like, oh wow, this is great, now you're healthy?
Instead of responding, Jonah would make it clear he wasn't having any of it.
Do you have any other questions that are smart?
Later on, fans praised the Superbad actor for his approach in handling sensitive questions. He could have reacted so much worse, but the way he did it was just perfect. But while Jonah had to dodge insults about his weight, the next actress had to uncomfortably deal with someone who admired her. In 2009, while promoting Jennifer's Body, Megan Fox would encounter an interviewer who was more focused on her looks than her movie.
I don't know if there's a man alive who's not in love with you in some way.
The reporter would then add that every conversation Megan has with men will end with them flirting with her. However, although it might seem like a compliment, the actress appeared completely annoyed, prompting her to try and dismiss him.
You're so silly.
You know what am I really?
You're a silly
No,
man.
I'm not silly at all.
You're a silly man in a checkered shirt.
I am not.
This would be soon followed by a moment of silence, prompting Megan to look confused. However, the delusional reporter interpreted it as something else.
I don't think you're flirting with me. I'm kidding.
As the discussion went totally off the rails, Fox, along with Simmons, didn't think twice to hide their disappointment.
Oh, dude.
For viewers, it was indeed an awkward watch from start to finish. But while Megan still had a shred of patience for the guy, the next actor completely lost it when a touchy subject was mentioned. In 2005, Tom Cruise would appear on 60 Minutes with Peter Overton to talk about his latest film, War of the Worlds. However, the conversation quickly went south when the journalist began prying into personal matters.
Was Nicole the love of your life?
Tom, who had been divorced from Nicole Kidman for 4 years, would then throw a strong reaction.
What do you mean, Peter?
But instead of taking this as a signal to back off, Peter would press things further.
And do you have a relationship where you talk, it's a parenting relationship, and talk professionally about each other?
Not expecting to talk about his ex, Tom snapped.
Listen, here's the thing, Peter.
Yeah.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line, you know you are.
Though Peter would then defend that his questions were what people wanted to know, Tom just didn't buy it.
Take responsibility for what you want to know. Don't say what other people. This is a conversation that I'm having with you right now.
You're right.
Okay, so I'm just telling you right now, okay? Just put your manners back in.
Peter would then apologize, and the conversation quickly got back on track.
Well, I apologize for that sincerely.
Good.
But while things got awkward, Tom wrapped everything up with a friendly handshake, unlike the next actor who couldn't even make it to the end. On April 22, 2015, Robert Downey Jr. traveled to London to meet controversial Channel 4 news presenter Krishnan Gurumurthy and promote Avengers: Age of Ultron. At first, the actor was happy to talk about superheroes. However, when Krishnan's questions shifted, things took a nasty turn.
What you said to the New York Times once was, it was after your incarceration, and you said you can't go from a $2,000 a night hotel suite to a penitentiary and understand it and come out a liberal. And I just wondered what you meant by that.
Downey wasn't thrilled about revisiting his past, but he remained professional, politely brushing off questions about his old comments.
I couldn't even really tell you what a liberal is, so therein lies the answer to your question.
Despite the pushback, Krishnan kept probing into Downey's personal life, even trying to justify his invasive questions.
The reason I'm asking about the past is that you've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all of that in the dark periods you entered and taking drugs and drinking and all of that. And I just wondered whether you think you're free of all of that?
As Krishnan spoke, Downey would breathe heavily, a sign that the worst was about to happen. But the reporter kept pressing, and the actor's response turned from RDJ to full-on Tony Stark.
I'm sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions, that's all.
Right.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Are you... I'm sorry.
After the walkout, fans supported Downey, applauding him for giving Krishnan exactly what he deserved. I'm proud of him, sticking up for himself and walking away instead. The interview was supposed to be about the movie, not a therapy section, and it was a hard time in his life and he didn't want to talk about it. He handled it in a mature, respectful way, I think. I wouldn't know what to do, to be honest.